Welcome to the Promoting Inclusivity in the Workplace module. We will cover 4 objectives throughout this module. The first objective is to identify what inclusion means and how it relates to the workplace. The second objective is outlining the benefits of creating an inclusive workplace. The third objective is understanding what inclusivity looks like and multiple behaviors that promote inclusion. The fourth objective is establishing 3 distinct action steps that can be taken to promote inclusion in your business. Let's discuss Objective 1, identifying what inclusion means and how it relates to the workplace. Inclusion is the practice or policy of providing equal access to opportunities and resources for people who might otherwise be excluded or marginalized. It is crucial to understand that while an environment may have a diverse group of individuals, it does not imply that it is an inclusive environment. Inclusion is taking the actions to provide the diverse population with equal opportunities to succeed. During this section, we are going to dive further into a specific type of inclusion, disability inclusion. Disability inclusion relates to the population of individuals that will be participating in our program. To explain what disability inclusion is, here is a quote. "Disability inclusion at work is more than hiring people with disabilities. An inclusive workplace values all employees for their strengths. It offers employees with disabilities, whether visible or invisible, an equal opportunity to succeed, to learn, to be compensated fairly, and to advance. True inclusion is about embracing difference." Disability inclusion in the workplace is working to create a space where people with disabilities are more than employees. They are members of the work community. An inclusive workplace is one where employees with disabilities are hired for their abilities and skills, valued for their strengths, and are provided the same opportunities to succeed at all levels of the company, to grow professionally, to be compensated fairly, and to advance within the organization. Now we'll move on to our next objective, which is outlining the benefits of creating an inclusive workplace. Here is a quote to keep in mind when moving throughout this section. "Rather than assuming diversity is a problem to be solved, practitioners of inclusion assume that it is a rich resource to be tapped and enjoyed." On this slide, we outlined the benefits of inclusive environments in the workplace. The most common benefit is an enhanced talent pool. 1 in 4 adults in the U.S. have some type of disability. Despite wanting to work, people with disabilities are employed at a much lower rate than their peers. The vast majority of people with disabilities are striving to work. By providing an inclusive workplace and expanding your employee pool to all individuals, you open the door to so many people who are eager to be employed. Another benefit is an increased variety of experiences and perspectives, which drives innovation and creativity. By providing a safe space for employees to share their input, you are allowing diverse individuals to share their perspective. Additionally, inclusivity brings together diverse groups in an environment of respect where backgrounds, perspectives, and ideas are viewed as valuable. The next benefit that is identified is improved performance and productivity. Employees have better collaboration and provide an improvement in output. Reduced fear and bias is another benefit of inclusion. It improves morale and workplace culture. It sends an important message about your company's values. Similar to that, having an inclusive workplace results in enhanced brand reputation. Customers and potential employees will notice the type of business and environment that is being promoted. Finally, higher employee engagement is a result of inclusion as employees feel safe to share their input and be more engaged in the business. Here we are going to dive into the third objective in this module, understanding what inclusivity looks like and multiple behaviors that promote inclusion. The way employees and employers interact with each other is a large contributor to the atmosphere of the workplace. Our behaviors and language that we use matter. It's crucial to be cognizant of the behaviors we have in the workplace and their impact they have on those around us. By choosing more inclusive behaviors in the workplace, you can improve the morale of employees, promote engagement, and increase the sense of belonging. To fully understand what inclusivity entails, it is helpful to understand what behaviors an inclusive individual will display. This slide displays a wide array of inclusive characteristics. To highlight a few: fostering a feeling of safety, communicating clearly and honestly, working through and learning from conflicts, seeking and listening to multiple voices and perspectives, noticing when exclusion occurs and intervening to address it, being intentional about individual and collective choices when working in groups, showing respect and empathy, and recognizing the other individual as different but equal. This is not an all-encompassing list, but will provide a great foundation for when addressing inclusivity and working towards being more inclusive in the workplace. The textbook Diversity at Work: The Practice of Inclusion by F.O.R.E.S.T et al. Outlined inclusive behaviors for employees. First, listen to all individuals until they feel understood. It is important to actively be listening and interpreting what others are sharing. Additionally, accept others' references as true for them. Do not question someone else's experience because it may be different than yours. Be honest and clear. Build on each other's ideas and thoughts. Take risks. Be courageous, speak out, and share your experiences or input. Speak up for oneself or others. Do not hesitate to defend yourself or a fellow employee if a situation arises. Now we will move to Objective 4, which is outlining the distinct action steps that can be taken in your business to promote inclusion. 3 action steps to developing an inclusive workplace were outlined in Diversity at Work: The Practice of Inclusion by F.O.R.E.S.T et al., which are listed below. 1. Outreach in employment. 2. Building connections in the workplace. And 3. Seeking input and opening communication. We will dive further into each one now. The first step to take is establishing a level playing field for all employees by implementing appropriate employment practices. Continually, individuals with disabilities are viewed as incapable or lacking appropriate skills for the workplace. These views can result in biased interactions and poor treatment in the workplace. These actions can also create a negative environment and result in individuals with disabilities not feeling valued or willing to contribute to the business. However, when a business breaks down those stereotypical views, it loses its power in the workplace. One way to break down this mindset is through employment. By employing individuals with disabilities, you are debunking the idea that people with disabilities do not have the appropriate skills to be a member in the workforce. This leads to employees no longer perceiving their peers with disabilities as less than and allows for all to see what is attainable when collaborating together for one goal. Additional ways to break down these views is through community outreach and collaboration with local programs supporting individuals with disabilities. By employing and engaging in community organization, your business is emphasizing support, placing value in these individuals, and providing opportunities. This action step opens the door to many other individuals and lets them know it is a space that encourages and welcomes diversity. Individuals in the workplace must also be provided with opportunities to develop personal connections in a way to reduce common stereotypes. Building connections and understanding one another can reduce individuals' misconceptions about people with disabilities. Allowing individuals in the workplace to share personal experiences and make connections provides a feeling of value. Everyone has experiences and cultures that make up who they are. Providing a space for employees to share these experiences can cultivate a more inclusive workspace and give a sense of understanding among everyone. Allowing time and space for personal connections to be formed is another way to promote inclusion in the workplace and can be achieved through team lunches or work outings. We have talked a lot about the benefit of having diverse perspectives in the workforce and how it can contribute to the business. It brings new ideas and light to things that may have been skipped over previously or opens doors to new opportunities or communities. But how do businesses get those diverse perspectives? They have to be sought out and integrated into decision-making. Businesses need to receive insight from all employees, not just traditionally favored employees. To obtain this open and free workplace where all individuals are willing to share their input, standards need to be set and work needs to be put in. Here are processes that work towards cultivating an inclusive environment. 1. Providing access to upward communication, speaking with higher-ups. 2. Make consistent efforts to seek input and feedback from employees. 3. Being flexible and open to new ideas regarding the processes and systems in place. 4. Making action steps following appropriate input. doing, not just listening. Be open to the idea that employees may have first-hand insight into what is succeeding and what can be adjusted to increase productivity. You've made it to the end of the Promoting Inclusivity in the Workplace module. Let's review before you move on to the next module. First, you learned what inclusion means and specifically what disability inclusion is in the workplace. Next, you learned the benefits of having an inclusive environment in the workplace and the impact it can have on your business. Then, you identified many inclusive behaviors both in the workplace and in general. And lastly, you outlined 3 distinct action steps that can be taken to promote inclusivity in the workplace. Thank you for viewing the Promoting Inclusivity in the Workplace training module. You are now ready to move on to the summary module. If you want to learn more about the modules, the F.O.R.E.S.T program, or view additional resources, visit our website.